That's up from most of these millions that the country is importing will not only be sadly toil their days in minimum wage, chasing the dream of living in a developed country. But that dream, according to almost every statistic, is a mirage. With unrelenting and unending migration, the country is transforming at such a rapid pace that the stated goals of the lobby group Century Initiative, which aims to increase Canada's population to 100 million by the end of the century, will probably happen much sooner. Or will it? And that is because the prime ministership of the former substitute drama teacher and part-time ski instructor Justin Trudeau, well, it has been a catastrophe for the nation. Canada is a very, very, very unhealthy nation, socially, culturally, and especially financially. Just how bad is it? Well, let's see. Hi everyone, just to let you know, I have some old favorites as well as new t-shirt designs on sale right now. Link to find them is in the description, and would like to thank you in advance, as it really does help the channel, as for years now, content like this has been put into an algorithmic black hole, as well as being demonetized. So thanks again, as well as I'm pretty sure you'll find something you will like.
The question is not, why does Justin Trudeau suddenly not love his country? Because the question is ridiculous. I live this country in my bones every breath I take, and I'm not going to stand here and somehow defend that I actually do love Canada, because we know I love Canada.
A secret report prepared by the Royal Canadian Mounted Police has warned the Canadian government of the potential for civil unrest due to worsening economic conditions as, quote, once Canadians realize the hopelessness of their economic situation, closed quote. Titled, Whole of Government 5-Year Trends for Canada, well, the report predicts a decline in living standards, particularly, quote, for example, many Canadians under 35 are unlikely ever to be able to buy a place to live in, closed quote. In that, in December, an analysis by the Royal Bank of Canada revealed that housing affordability in most of Canada's major markets has hit unprecedented lows. Currently, even condominiums are priced beyond the reach of 55% of Canadian households, while single-family homes are only attainable for the wealthiest 25%. The outlook for the next 5 years is described as bleak, echoing concerns expressed by French President Emmanuel Macron about the end of abundance. Another major theme of the report is that Canadians are set to become increasingly disillusioned by their government. Oh dear, you mean robbing an entire nation's people of prospects and outright stabbing them in the back, and where the government has sabotaged the potential success of their children for their own enrichment? Well, this might make people angry? No, of course not. Because the authors of the same report mostly chalk up these sentiments to, quote, misinformation, conspiracy theories, and paranoia, closed quote. And on paranoia, it's interesting that the censor's pen also deleted most of a section warning about paranoid populism, because the tyrannical slavery system now in place in Canada will of course refer to populism as a risk to public order and to democracy itself. The future of Justin Trudeau's vision of Canada as the first post-national state with no core culture and nothing for the millions of migrants arriving to assimilate into, well, it's looking bleak, very bleak, not only for the mass of newcomers, but for all Canadians. Even though while millions upon untold millions still clamor to get in, a new analysis from the National Bank Financial has concluded that Canada's high immigration is driving down per capita GDP as the economy contracts, meaning everyone is getting poorer, and everyone is getting poorer directly because of government policy. More damning is the fact that, according to the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, Canada will be the worst performing advanced economy from 2020 to 2030, and then from 2030 to 2060. But it gets better and better and better. This year, 75% of the federal deficit will be allocated to acquiring Canadian mortgage bonds, which are akin to the subprime financial crisis, but on steroids. The government aims to prop up the housing market by purchasing debt using borrowed funds, effectively using taxpayer dollars to fuel further housing inflation within the Canadian market. And the reason for this is the outrageous property bubble in Canada, as the country is literally a nation of millionaires who have all their money in a single immovable asset that they can never sell, because they would lose it all trying to get another place to live. So then, can you spot the theme running through all of this? Canada is now a nation that is experiencing simultaneous failing of ideology, failing institutions, failing fiscal policies, failing demographics, and a failing society. And this is according to the RCMP. There is not a single indicator that I can find that Canada is a nation with anything but a dark future ahead of it. And I think that is the point. This whole scheme in my mind was arranged specifically for the purpose of extracting the wealth from its citizens and of the accumulated wealth of prior generations into the... And once everyone is just as poor as the millions of migrants arriving, the transfer will be complete. Sadly, and this is just an anecdote, but I would say pre-Trudeau Canada was the envy of a lot of Americans. Even conservatives liked Canada, and we all know that liberal American who said they can't stand the US and was determined to move to Canada because of guns or healthcare or some other reason like that. But I haven't heard anyone say that they're going to move to Canada. American, European, Australian. It's really sad. But take heart, it's not all gloom and doom for everyone. If you're watching this video, I would say that you are one of the lucky ones, one of the few, as you've not been totally gaslit by the establishment on the greatness of the new emerging Canada, which means you're most likely much better prepared psychologically and hopefully in a few other ways as well for what is to come. This iteration, the Trudeau iteration of Canada, well, it's simply doomed by design. And I think many are coming to realize that there are no political solutions that will right the ship. But at the same time, Canada's low population density and the vast amount of resources held within is the silver lining in this deliberate deconstruction of the nation. Thinking Canadians will always have options as long as they are smart about positioning themselves for what's to come. Put simply, don't give up because a twink that likes to flirt with blackface and display his fabulous is now the sadly broken nation. Of course, it will be a rough road, one that was deliberately created, I should say. But once enough people have realized their hopeless situation, that's when change happens fast.
British Columbia, where we can be free and no man owns the fish.
Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please check to see that you're still subscribed, as YouTube unsubscribes lots and lots of people without their knowledge or consent. Also, if you'd like to help support this channel, it'd be greatly appreciated. Ways of doing so are in the description below. Also, you can find a link to the merchandise as shown at the beginning of this video. It would also be appreciated if you check that out. And with that said, I'd like to say thank you once again, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.